What's going on, everybody? Good morning, and it's time that we swing over to our next position of, I would call it, moderate need. It is right tackle. So, right tackle's tough. Right tackle is interesting. Right tackle is also kind of thin out there. I think we find that year after year after year, there are not a lot of true right tackles that hit the market, which is why you see a lot of teams try to take a left tackle or a left guard and swing them out to right tackle and hope they can cut it. You see the premium right tackles tend to now get drafted very high. I think you're going to see several right tackles get taken early in this draft because of that. It's become a position that has increased in value over time. And I think that you see that in the fact that a lot of the good ones never make it to free agency anymore. So talking about right tackle for free agency stuff is going to be hard, but we're going to do our best. We're going to try. So what I can say about right tackle on the Seahawks, we don't really know what's going on with Abe Lucas. We don't. We did get some somewhat encouraging words on Abe Lucas yesterday from Schneider, but it wasn't definitive. He said, hopefully things are good now. He didn't say things are good now or things are probably good now. He said that hopefully things are good now. And people are not going to be over the moon about that. And they probably shouldn't be. But we are probably committed to crossing our fingers on Abe Lucas for one more season at least. And if it doesn't go well, then that's going to damage our upcoming season. But those are the risks you have to take. Every team is taking a risk. Every team is hoping that this guy holds up, or that guy holds up, or this comes through, or that comes through. And if those things don't happen, they know they're probably not going to have such a great year. They're going to have a lesser year than they could have, but they have to take those things on faith. So I'm down with that, but I'm also aware of the possibility that the team knows something that we do not. Like, they know that this is just a ticking time bomb. They know that he's about to be out of the league. They know that he's about to have to retire. That's possible. Like, and it's not just possible in the sense that literally anything is possible. It's possible in the sense that there is some stuff that leads people to that conclusion. Like actual evidence, not just, oh, anything can happen. No. We've seen this guy get hurt a couple times now. We know there's probably something chronic going on in there. So I think all options need to be explored. Even if you think Abe Lucas is good for a while, we don't really have a backup because Jake Curhan is a exclusive rights free agent this off season. Now, we would probably be able to kick somebody out to right tackle in a pinch, but you don't really want to have to do that if you don't have to. So we do need a backup. But this first video, I want to take a look at some guys you could bring in that I view as being kind of pure right tackles to actually start. These would be guys that you would pursue if Abe Lucas is just DOA. Like he shows up at camp and it's not working. Or he retires out of nowhere in March or something like that. You know, if things go really, really wrong for Abraham Lucas, there are a few starting caliber options in free agency, but straight up, they're not great. You've got Trenton Brown of the Patriots, and he's great. He is. He's been a really good player for a while now. He's played left tackle and right tackle. The last couple years, actually, he's played almost exclusively left tackle, but I think of him as a right tackle. He played right tackle back in 2020 and 2021. He's 370 pounds and 6'8", which is why I would definitely prefer to have him play right tackle because mobility is less of a concern at the right tackle spot. So if I'm going to have Trent Brown play on my offense, I want him to be playing right tackle all day, every day, even though his recent experience is at left. But either way, even though Trent Brown is a good player, like he's a really good player, he's just not a fit. 370 pounds, 5.340 time at the combine 8 years ago. Like, this guy cannot move in space. This guy is a mauler. This guy is a pure mauler, and that's not what we're looking for. So while this guy can play, he doesn't play the way we want him to play. So I don't think this is a viable option unless we're going to completely alter our offense from what I expect, which, hey, stranger things have happened. And don't get me wrong, the guy is good. I imagine that he's going to get somewhere around 8 to 10, maybe even 11 million a year from somebody. He's going to get paid because he's played well lately and he's got versatility. I just don't want a guy 370 pounds. By the way, he might weigh more now. I don't know. This was probably taken from the combine 8 years ago. But either way, he doesn't play the way that I think a tackle needs to play in this offense, left or right. By the way, he's about to turn 31. Age is going to start to be a concern. I don't think it's a pressing concern yet, but I think it will be in the very near future. So I'm not looking to give him a 3-year deal and just hope we outlast it. So Trent Brown, he is a viable starting option at right tackle in free agency this year, but I just don't see the fit. Next guy would be Jonah Williams of the Cincinnati Bengals. This is another guy who's played a decent amount at left tackle, but most recently he moved to right tackle, and I suspect that that is going to be the position he ultimately lands at long-term in the NFL. And he's actually got his best years in front of him. He's a little bit on the smaller side, especially compared to a guy like Trent Brown. He's 312 pounds. He's got some ability to play in space, got some ability to actually show off his athleticism. Former first-round pick. He was actually a top 12 pick a few years ago from Alabama. He played the full season last year. He played okay. Obviously was not helped by the fact that the Bengals offense was hampered significantly by not having their quarterback. And again, this is another guy who is going to be helped by the fact that he can also play left tackle. He's played left tackle before. He's played it competently. He's even at times played it really well. This was the year the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, and Jonah Williams played at a very high level at left tackle. But again, I think the last 2 years have been a little bit of a drop-off for him. He's been a little bit of a disappointment, which is a little bit mysterious because he should be entering his prime. He's going to turn 27 midway through the upcoming 2024 NFL season. So he should be playing his best football. Seems like he's slipping a little bit. I do think that the circumstances have been not to his favor because Burrow missed so much time in 2023. I understand that. But I'm still looking at this and going, this guy was supposed to be a superstar. This guy was a top 12 pick. And I'm not really seeing it. I'm seeing like a couple really good years, but the last couple years have been rougher. And I look at Spotrac and they say he's going to get like 4 years, 44 million, 11 million a year. Long-term big money contract for a right tackle. And I'm just not sure I want to be the team that gives him that. I'm not sure he's done anything to be worth that. If you brought the asking price down significantly to like 7 or 8 million a year and we needed a starter, that's different. And also he provides insurance against a cross injury, which is nice. But I don't feel like what I'm getting is worth the supposed price tag. I'm just looking at like 11 million a year for a mediocre right tackle, and I'm feeling like, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. Why? What's so great about this guy? I don't think there's anything over the top special about him to where I'm going to pay that kind of money. There's really one more guy, and you can tell how quickly this list gets thin because we're already down to a guy like this. Germaine Eluemunor, which sounds like a name from Lord of the Rings, which is awesome. Definitely sounds like the name of one of the elves, but it's a real name, and it is a player who should be available this offseason at the right tackle position. This is kind of another guy who I don't think would be a great fit in our offense because he's big, he's a mauler, doesn't move very well, doesn't move very quickly. He's a good player, though. He's a good player, and he does have that versatility. Last year, he played almost all his snaps at right tackle, but did play a little bit of left tackle. You go back to the year before. He played almost all his snaps at right tackle, but played some left tackle and right guard. Go back to 2021. Played at right guard. So good versatility, quality player, offers some value. Not hating on him as a player. I just doubt the fit. Also, he's going to turn 30 in December, so while age isn't a pressing concern, it is definitely something that is going to start affecting his game, especially if you consider his already very limited movement skills. Those are going to start to diminish even from a pretty low starting point. So, Germaine Eluemunor, good player. Somebody's going to give him probably, I'd say, based on the way he played last year, he should be getting like at least 7 mil a year, probably a 2 or 3 year deal. I think he deserves that. I just don't really want it to be my team because I don't think he's going to enable the offense to be the best version of itself. So that's it. That's it in terms of like starter types. That's it in terms of guys that you could go get and plug into the starting lineup. Which is why this right tackle stuff is hard. You usually go find a left tackle and you're like, okay, hopefully this guy can move over to right. Or you get a left guard and you're like, hopefully this guy can move to right tackle. Or you draft a guy. Or you just hope that Abe Lucas holds up for another season. So, not too high on this crop right here. Just wanted to explore why. I feel like the one guy that might work as like a starter is Jonah Williams. And he's probably going to cost way too much for me to be cool with it. So, let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you're looking at this. That's my take on the right tackles in this crop. I will see you guys later. More right tackle stuff later. Go Hawks. And yeah, Abe Lucas, get well soon.